Hello and welcome everyone back to the Hold for Hold Pro Wrestling channel. Tonight we had a bunch of botches, so this is my second time doing this intro. So just please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow us wherever you are viewing this content. And yeah, we had a pretty good Dynamite tonight, and I want to talk about it as I do. This is the Dynamite review. Centered around Brody Lee, which is always, great touch to any show. But yeah, the John Hubert, I believe it's called the John Hubert Project or Foundation, was launched today. So that's always really good news to hear that there is another way to give back to the community in his honor. So that was really nice to see. But yeah, the show centered around Brody tonight as they were in Rochester, New York, his hometown. And so it was really a lot of love shown for Brody. We had CM Punk to open the show. He came out on commentary, or came out to make his entrance for commentary. And then, yeah, Brody Lee chants raining throughout the building, and it was just really sweet to see. We start off the night hot with some action. Jungle Boy versus Adam Cole in an outstanding match, which I knew it would be, because, I mean, how could it not be? It's Jungle Boy and Adam Cole. Adam Cole, in the entire story of this match, he was being cocky. He thought he could outsmart Jungle Boy, and he was early on outsmarting him, getting the better of him. But Jungle Boy would surprise him with little subtle changes in his game and kind of throw off Cole. Cole kind of gets frustrated after an arm drag to the outside, so he's just outside pacing back and forth, thinking of his next move. And yeah, just that thought alone, he comes back in the ring, he adjusts his game and regains control for the majority of the match. We get a huge lariat comeback from Jungle Boy. We get some kicks exchanged from both men, the pump kick, super kick combination. We get a brain buster from Jungle Boy, and both men are down for a little while there. Getting back up, we get a belly belly and a German suplex from Jungle Boy. It was hot action right there. He gets Cole in the Tree of Woe. He kind of has to fight him back down into it. So it was kind of like a second attempt. And they were really selling that Jungle Boy has his tenacity to stick to the plan. And I think that that was a really good storyline throughout this match, is just them two really working around each other, and Jungle Boy trying his best to keep hitting the move he wants to hit, no matter if Adam Cole gets out of it or not. And we'll see this again coming up. But he gets Cole in the Tree of Woe, hits a nice drop kick on him. Cole reverses a pump handle slam. So Jungle Boy gets Cole up for a pump handle slam kind of on his shoulders. Cole gets out of it and rolls up Jungle Boy for 2. Cole hits a backstabber and a patella brain drop for 2. Jungle Boy comes back with a poison rana and a lariat to the back of the head. And then he finally gets that pump handle slam he was looking for earlier. But it's still not enough. Cole gets a super kick to send Jungle Boy to the outside. Looks for a Panama Sunrise from the apron, but it's avoided. Jungle Boy looks for a dive through the ropes, but Cole hits him with an enziguri before he's able to get all the way out. Cole showboating on the apron, and Jungle Boy nails him with a hurricanrana from the apron to the floor. That was nice. Back in the ring, though, Cole immediately nails Jungle Boy with a super kick and a Panama Sunrise, which I thought was it, but no, it was for 2. He misses the last shot attempt. Jungle Boy gets the snare trap in, and I thought, oh, he might tap here, but no. As we roll into the finish, Cole escapes out of that snare trap, and him and Jungle Boy kind of corral around Audrey Edwards. She can't see what Cole's doing. Cole hits a low blow and the last shot for the win. Like I said, this was a really fun match. The match I was looking forward to the most, to be honest, because I just loved both of these competitors, and it did not disappoint. I love the character development between both Cole and Jungle Boy, just constantly eyeing each other out in this. Just a really fun way to start off Dynamite, and it felt fast. Everything felt like it was going one bit after the other. But post-match, we get the Elite making their way to the ring. We get a super elite promo. Carl Anderson starts it off by saying, to be elite, you have to be the Impact Champions. To be elite, blah, 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 blah. List everyone in the group. Eventually just hands the mic over to Adam Cole. He says he told all of us so, that he was going to beat Jungle Boy. Brandon Cutler actually takes the mic out of Adam Cole's hand. He says something, I didn't catch it, and he just gets told to shut up. I thought it was a really funny moment. This is when Kenny Omega finally grabs the mic after I think he introduces Nakazawa, and then Nakazawa just passes it right back over to Kenny Omega. Sorry. He says that he doesn't care that he had such a great match with Daniel Bryan. He doesn't care that it's everyone's favorite match. He acknowledges Bryan's efforts. He says that you kicked me in the chest, kicked me in the face, kicked my head in, but it still didn't get the job done. He says that that Daniel Bryan has a losing record and is not getting a rematch. This brings out Bryan Danielson. He makes his way out with his classic white tee and sweatpants. Bryan says he really gets the crowd riled up here. That's the entire Bryan promo, is just asking the crowd questions. He asks the crowd if they want to see him have a rematch, and they do, and he says he wants a rematch, but Kenny doesn't have the balls to give him one. He calls him Kenny No Balls, and the chant starts rolling in from there. He challenges anyone from the Elite to a match on Rampage, and Omega says, why Rampage? Why not right now? And Bryan Danielson really likes that idea, but he says he didn't come alone, and out come Jungle Express with Frankie Kazarian and Christian Cage. They make their way to the ring and run off the Elite. So we did not get any action right now, but it was announced later on that Bryan Danielson will be facing Nick Jackson on Rampage, so that's going to be a banger. And on the anniversary show next week on Dynamite, it'll be Jungle Express versus the Elite with Bryan Danielson and Jungle Express, so that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited for that. Following that, we have a really kind of bungled Lucha Bros and Andrade face off. Essentially, Lucha Bros are kind of just staying there. It looked like they were going to give an interview, but Andrade interrupts them and tells the Lucha Bros that they need to defend their AAA tag titles, and that Andrade and Idalo has some friends who can challenge them for him. And Penta says they'll challenge them wherever, whenever, because they have Sydel Muero. So that should be fun. I don't know if that means we're going to get some AAA luchadors in AEW, or is that just leading up to a match in AAA? Either way, should still be fun. I know I'm kind of rolling through this pretty fast now that I'm really had to breathe, but yeah, it just kind of was a nothing promo, and even the Elite stuff, while it was nice to see Bryan out there, it just wasn't really meaty, I guess. So yeah, just kind of disappointed from there. But this bit right here is where I think we're going to slow down and talk about a little bit more detail. It is Matt Sydal and Dante Martin versus Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson. So we get a lot of character development here from Cody Rhodes, between Cody, Arn Anderson, and Lee Johnson. Before the match starts, Arn has Lee and Cody in a huddle, and he tells Lee to start off the match, but Cody instead just walks right in, starts the match himself. So we get some Cody back and forth with Dante. He gets kind of shown up, and so he tags in Lee. And then Lee and Dante going back and forth. They're doing some athletic crap that I can't even call. I mean, they're just moving fast. This match breaks down once Cody gets in the ring, and he starts picking on Matt Sydal, and the match turns into a brawl. We go to commercial, and we get picture-in-picture. So during the commercial, we had some big dives to the outside from pretty much everyone except Cody. Actually, I think Cody did make a dive, but it didn't connect. I think it was the first one. Lee hit a dive, Dante hit a dive, Sydal hit a dive, and that gives Sydal and Dante the advantage from there. Back from the break, Cody makes a comeback with his classic uppercut and hits a disaster kick on Sydal on the apron like a true heel. Sydal was not even in the match, not even the legal man, just hits him for no reason. Then he hits a vertebreaker on Dante for 2, which was kind of surprising. Dante comes back, hits a missile drop kick onto Cody for 2. Cody kicks out of Dante's moonsault, and then we roll right into the finish. Cody's kind of out of it when he kicks out of the moonsault. So he gets up, and he has to fight off Sydal and Dante. And he kind of does that. And Lee sees that Cody's in trouble, and he pulls Cody by his tights into the corner and tags himself in. And then he gets the win with the pump handle fisherman's buster onto Dante. I really enjoyed that finish because it showed Cody is like sir, get out of the ring. You're done. Like, listen, like, you need to work as a team. And Lee having to put himself in there was fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed that. Post-match, we get an interview with Tony Schiavone in the ring. Cody immediately calls out Malachi Black, and Arn tells him to stop talking. He says that ever since Malachi came into our lives, it's been nothing but badness. And I mean, he's bringing up great points. He's saying that Malachi has beaten everybody in the Nightmare family, and he says that Cody should have finished the fight and all out and not worried about Arn. And then this is where things get weird. I didn't fully, because I was like, okay, whatever. And then Arn says the difference between me and you, Cody, is that if you're in a car and someone opens your window and tells you to get out, you comply, not wanting to get hurt. If someone did that to me, I would pull a Glock out, put it on their forehead, and splatter them. Why is Arn a full-on murderer? Why is Arn just admitting to wanting to murder people? I mean, it was funny. It was shocking. But is it really what I wanted out of Arn Anderson? I don't know. I can't even tell you what that was supposed to mean. I mean, I'm sure it means, having the killer instinct and, not backing down from a fight, whatever. But did it really need to be said like that? Anyways, he says he doesn't want to coach a loser, and so he tells Lee to come with them, and they both leave Cody in the ring. Yeah, that might have been my segment of the night, just for the shock value of Arn Anderson admitting to murder. And a commentary didn't really know what to do either. I mean, it was just weird. It was a very out of left field promo. But anyways, moving on down, we have Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston with Darby Allin versus Bear Country. I think one of their name is Boulder, and I didn't get the second guy's name. This match happened really fast. So it's total chaos to start. Moxley and Eddie just start brawling with the two big men on the outside. And so it leaves Darby, and I think, I forget his name, but I know his last name is Green, so excuse me. But Darby and Green start off the match. Darby's trying to hit roll-ups, whatever. Eddie hits a nasty German suplex on one of the guys. Moxley with a nice snap German onto Boulder. Darby with a coffin drop to the two big men of Bear Country on the outside. That takes them out for the rest of the match. Green hits a crossbody on Eddie and Mox, but they completely no-sell it. And they hit him with the Violent Crown, that half and half suplex and the lariat combo that they do for the win. But that's not enough. They have Sting come in the ring and hit a Scorpion Death Drop onto Green. Very fast match. Pretty fun to watch. Just not really anything of consequence there. I do like that Moxley has just complete freedom to just start every single match with a brawl, which is always fun to see. Following that, we have a really well done Ruby Soho, Britt Baker promo, and they're just going back and forth, answering each other's sentences. But essentially saying that Ruby Soho is going to work her way back up to the title picture because of the support of the fans she had that night. She wants to recreate that magic. And I don't know if she will, to be honest. I don't know if that is a building block for a rematch or if that's just kind of the bookend for this for now, and then we'll pick up on it a year from now. You never know with AEW. They don't like to do a lot of rematches, which I appreciate, but sometimes that does leave some people left in the dark. Following that, we had the Hardy family, which was everyone in the Hardy family, versus Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order in a 16-man tag match. Just absolute chaos here. We start off with some inner turmoil between the Dark Order members trying to tag each other in, to start the match. Eventually, Alan Angels gets the tag, or is the legal man to start it. He eats a double team move from Butcher and the Blade, and then eats another double team move from Private Party. This brings in Orange Cassidy, and then a full brawl breaks out. Orange nearly finishes Jack Evans, but Evil Uno walks out at the same time. So Evil Uno's on the ramp. I think Colt Cabana follows him up there. Just a lot of bickering up there. We got another brawl, and that's when Audrey Hubert comes out to the ramp really rallies the troops, gets the Dark Order on the same page. They regain control. We get a lot of dives on the outside. John Silver runs wild on the outside, just hitting everybody with moves back and forth. And then we get a big bunch of double team and a fatality for the win. The Dark Order seemingly coming together for this one night to honor Brody. And I don't know how long this is going to last. We're going to see, especially with a little bit of foreshadowing in the Anna Jay Ty Conti match that we'll talk about. But yeah, just a fun match, wild with chaos. Unfortunately, it had a commercial break right in between it, and so that really took me kind of out of it as well. But always nice to see Dark Order, and it was really nice to see -1 there. It's an emotional moment, and if nothing else, they got to have that moment for him. Following that, we have a Lio Rush promo. He debuts a new gimmick called LBO Lio, Leverage Buyout. He explains it's a financial term, I guess, where you're like betting against companies and using that profit to pay off loans, because that's the key to success. Sounds like money laundering. Just sounds like money laundering. Had a bunch of pre-roll or like B-roll of Rolls Royce drivers, and it was weird. I'm not big into this. I like the Man of the Hour gimmick, and I think Lio Rush is a fantastic performer. Just not feeling this money laundering thing just quite yet. We'll see how it works. It seems a little close to the Hardy family whole aesthetic, so we'll see. But he is officially AEW. He is officially All Elite, which I did not realize he wasn't already. So yeah. FTR promo after that. They said there's no excuses for why they've been losing, but then list out every single excuse for their most recent losses, and it just basically says top guys are coming back, which I really hope they are, because I love FTR. After that, we jump into like a Dan Lambert is already speaking in the ring. He's already talking about Jericho, blah blah blah, just talking about that knee from that MMA guy that I forget his name. But real interesting point here. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page both get promos at the tail end of this, which I feel like they've been needing to talk, because those two are the actual AEW guys, and they just basically harp on how overlooked they are and all their accomplishments, especially Scorpio mentioning that he's one of the first champions in this company, and just, yeah, they're overlooked, and now that they're with winners, they're with the top guys, they're done being overlooked. I thought it was strong enough. The crowd was giving them what chants? CM Punk chants. So I think you really need to split this top team, and yeah, this just needs to go away, and we need to get Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page either on their own, or I don't know what you do with them, because they made great points and I want to see them do better. It's just I don't see this going further than what it has already, you know what I mean? And it's not interesting, especially when Dan Lambert is out there. I'm not the biggest fan of his promo. I thought it was fine the first couple of weeks. Now it's just stale. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Scorpio just fight Ethan Page. Just break the team up already, you know? But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Following that, Hikaru Shida looks to secure her 50th win in AEW and announces a match with Serena Deeb at the AEW Anniversary Show next Wednesday. So that should be a fantastic matchup. Following that, we have Anna Jay and Ty Conti representing the Dark Order, or what's left of them, versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford. We have another hot start to this match. Oh, before we get to the match, Anna Jay and Ty Conti are not wearing purple. They're wearing pink. A lot of pink, no purple on their gear. And even CM Punk called that out, that they're not wearing matching gear with the Dark Order. So, don't know what that means for the group. We get a hot start, though. Lots of brawling on the outside. Ty Conti hits some beautiful arm drags into the corner and starts leading the charge for them to work some double team onto the Bunny and Penelope Ford. Anna Jay gets worked over this entire matchup. And this matchup was pretty short match. And it was interrupted by a commercial break. So when we came back, it was still kind of the same thing. Anna Jay was getting worked over. Penelope hits a nice gut buster onto Anna Jay. And then we just right into the finish. Ty Conti hits the Tie KO onto the bunny on the outside. And then Anna locks in the Queen Slayer, that sleeper hold she does, to Penelope Ford for the win. So I'm guessing this is the blow off to the feud. I wish it would have been a little bit longer and they really, got to showcase their stuff. And also, I kind of think this was warranted of a gimmick match, considering the brass knuckles that the Bunny and Penelope Ford were using. And there wasn't really a callback to that in this match. So, yeah, it was just fine. It was a fine match. Following that, we have Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, and Nia Rose announced in a triple threat match, I believe on Rampage, or is it on Dynamite? I should have looked that up before, but either way, we're getting a triple threat with these three women, and it's going to be a fantastic match because it's got Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa's the best. Following that, we had a pretty lengthy MJF promo, which I didn't get the most detailed notes. I thought this promo was alright, pretty typical for him. He starts to list off the pillars of this company, saying that the younger talent are what's driving this company forward. He says people like Sammy and Jungle Boy, and then he kind of skips over Darby Allin. And then, of course, the last pillar is himself. He says that he is the past, present, and future of this company, and that brings out Darby Allin. He interrupts him. Darby Allin's wearing this nice blazer and tank top combo, which I wanted to comment on because I thought it was a good look. MJF doesn't even let him get a word in. He says nothing is wrong with being the number 2 guy. A great number 2 guy, Sting. And then Darby says, why don't you go? Why don't you leave like you always say you're gonna? That, you're not getting what you want. Why don't you just leave already? Everyone wants to see you leave. MJF then gets a little bit personal. He says, do you know why Darby is straight edge to the entire crowd? And tells a story about how Darby's uncle was a drunk driver, got into an accident, and his uncle passed away. And he says, of course, the wrong man died in that crash. And he tries to egg on Darby to hit him, but Darby is the bigger person, says that he can't break Darby mentally. This enrages MJF, and him and Wardlow storm out the ring. I don't know. This is another one where I don't really know how to feel. I guess, the drunk driver bit kind of came out of left field, because this promo was essentially just talking about in-ring credentials, and then you're going to bring that into it. It felt a little bit weird. It connected, I guess. People definitely booed, and Darby didn't give him the reaction he wanted him to, so that really eggs him on to see. So we're going to see this get pushed further and further. So I guess I'm on board with this. I think Darby and MJF are going to have fantastic matches again, but it's just, and it's also kind of putting a bookmark in the story of Wardlow and MJF breaking up, at least that I can tell. And that's the story I'm most interested in for MJF, is that breakup. So with that in mind, I think it was all right. I don't think he said anything too over the top. I know MJF was also kind of insinuating about going to WWE. He says that Tony Khan's his second favorite Khan in the wrestling business, and that he has Bruce Prichard's number on speed dial, which really got some good heat. And which I kind of like that tack more of almost like RVD did in ECW, of I can leave at any point. I'm a star. I can go to Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? I kind of like that aspect of the story better. And then Darby kind of being the AEW diehard. But then this whole drunk driver bit kind of got thrown in at the end, and it just, I don't know, wasn't the best. Anyways, after that, we had the Bryan Danielson and Nick Jackson match announced for Rampage. And then we have our main event, Miro versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. I'll be honest, I'm a little bummed. I don't know if you could tell this whole review. I'm a little bummed. We have a new TNT champion. Miro, God's favorite champion, by the way. God's favorite champion is no longer champion. Sammy Guevara has defeated Miro, and it makes me sad. It does. I think Sammy's going to be a great champ. I am excited to see what Miro does. This does definitively put an end to Miro's undefeated streak. of 15 wins. And it's just sad. You know what else was missing too from this show? No Team Taz. No Team Taz at all. No wonder I'm bummed out. Anyways, let's just start off at the top. Miro knocks Sammy out of the air to start this match. Sammy was trying to hit him with running knees to start off the match, and Miro avoided one and then just smacked him out of the air for the second one. So he gets control really early. Sammy looks for a comeback, and he hits a huge cross body to Miro onto the outside. Both men go tumbling out. We go to commercial, or no, we don't. We don't go to commercial yet. He rolls Miro back in the ring. He looks to hit a shooting star press to a standing Miro, but Miro tries to catch Sammy, but they both collapse on each other. But they kind of recover pretty quickly, gets him back in like a deadlift position, and hits a belly-to-belly suplex. We go to commercial, come back. Or actually, during the commercial, we get that fall-away slam on the outside to Sammy from Miro, which sad I had to watch that in picture-in-picture. I love that spot. I wish it was just on my TV. Miro hits a nasty release German suplex when we come back, and he drops him right on his head. That was pretty bad. I gasped. Miro runs off the ropes, and we get a Spanish fly out of nowhere from Sammy, and that was fantastic because I popped. I was not expecting, because Miro has established himself, especially in this match, as like grounded. He is not leaving his feet. He is beating up Sammy every chance he gets. He's slowing the pace down to a halt every chance he gets, and he's hitting explosive moves, right? And so you see him run off the ropes, and you're like, okay, he's gonna hit him with a lariat. No, just a athletic maneuver like a Spanish fly from Miro, because obviously Miro has to help out there. Was very shocking, and I very much enjoyed it. So Sammy's coming back. He gets a bunch of knees in the corners. Miro looks to give him another German, but Sammy flips out of that, and then Miro eats the turnbuckle, just goes head first into the turnbuckle and knocks himself to the outside. Sammy hits a nice dive over the top ring post. Miro back in the ring. Miro avoids a 450 and then just slams down Sammy for 2. Miro looks for that big kick, but Sammy evades, and he nails a knee strike instead, one that he was looking for at the beginning of the match. Miro cuts him off from the top rope, but Sammy fights him off and nails a middle rope cutter. He looks for that GTH, that torture rack into the GTS, but he can't lift up Miro. He just can't do it. Miro then hits the big kick for 2. I really thought that was going to be the end of the match. But now we roll into the finish as Sammy rolls out of the ring to avoid the game over. Miro rips off all the turnbuckle pads in anger. This brings out Fuego, who kind of distracts Miro. Miro punches Fuego to the floor, and then Miro turns around, eats a knee, gets turned into the exposed turnbuckle, so he hits that. Sammy gets him up for the GTH, which I was very impressed for, and then hits a 630 for the win. We have a new TNT champion. And like I said, I like Sammy, but I love Miro. And this is a day of mourning for Miro. No more God's favorite champion. But of course, we have a great new champion. I'm excited to see the matchups that we're going to have with that. And I am excited to see where Miro's going to go next. I don't know what's next for Miro, If it were up to me, let me think. Where would I put Miro? I mean, you can't go wrong with Miro versus Ricky Starks. I think that'd be fun. Miro on Cody Island, maybe. That could be a decent pairing, possibly. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, everyone's already in stories. Miro's probably going to stay chasing this title. If not, I wouldn't mind seeing him and Eddie Kingston running back a little bit, because I feel like Eddie Kingston and Moxley are kind of directionless, kind of just doing house show type matches just to get the crowd hype. So, yeah, I mean, there's possibilities. It's a sad day, guys. It's a sad day. But anyways, that was AEW Dynamite. So let's talk about overall. I give the show a solid 3 out of 5. I thought it kind of lacked a middle. Like, other than that wild Arn Anderson promo, I think the middle portion of this, it was bookended by 2 really good matches, but that middle portion kind of lagged, especially a lot of talking and a lot of short matches. But great moments for Dark Order. So, I mean, can't complain there. So, yeah, solid 3 out of 5 stars from me, this guy, this expert. Spot of the night. Let's talk about spot of the night. This is tough. Because I love that Hurricane Rana from the outside, or to the outside, from Jungle Boy to Adam Cole. But I also, I think I'm going to go with Spanish Fly out of nowhere to Miro. Because that really surprised me. I had no clue that was coming. So yeah, spot of the night, Spanish Fly, on to Miro. And that's going to do it for us, guys. I mean, drop some respect in the chat, in the comments for Miro, God's favorite champion. And really enjoyed tonight's Dynamite. Hope you guys enjoyed as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.